You've probably felt it before, that quiet sense that something isn't right in your life. Not dramatic, not catastrophic, just off. You're doing what you're supposed to do, studying, working, socializing, scrolling, but there's a strange emptiness underneath it all, like you're playing a role but forgetting who's behind the mask. And every now and then something cracks through, a sudden wave of anger, a thought you didn't expect, a version of yourself that doesn't fit the image you try to maintain. That's usually the moment people look away, distract themselves, move on. But according to Carl Jung, that moment is the beginning of your real journey. You've heard of the hero's journey before. The classic story: a normal person is called to adventure, faces challenges, defeats the villain, and returns transformed. It's everywhere. Movies, books, even motivational advice. Become the hero of your life, conquer your fears, win. But Jung saw something deeper hiding inside this pattern, something most people miss. He believed the hero's journey isn't really about defeating something outside of you. It's about facing something inside you. Jung called this hidden part of yourself the shadow. The shadow is everything about you that you don't want to see, the traits you reject, suppress, or deny. Your jealousy, your insecurity, your selfishness, your anger, even your hidden desires. Not because they're evil, but because they don't fit the version of yourself you're trying to be. Think about it. You want to be seen as kind, so you hide your resentment. You want to be strong, so you hide your fear. You want to be good, so you ignore your darker thoughts. But the shadow doesn't disappear just because you ignore it. It waits, and then it leaks out in ways you don't expect. Like when you snap at someone over something small, or when you feel irrationally irritated by a person who reminds you of something you don't like about yourself, or when you sabotage your own progress right when things start going well. That's not random, that's your shadow trying to be seen. Here, where Jung's idea of the hero's journey changes everything. The villain in your story is often your shadow. Not something out there, something in here. And the real journey isn't about destroying it. It's about integrating it. Integration means acknowledging that these darker parts exist and learning to work with them instead of pretending they're not there. Because strangely enough, your shadow also contains your strength. The anger you suppress, it can become boundaries. The selfishness you deny, it can become self-respect. The fear you hide, it can become awareness and caution. But only if you're willing to face it. Let's make this real. Imagine someone who prides themselves on being nice. They avoid conflict at all costs. They say yes to everything. They never express anger. On the surface, they seem like a good person. But over time, they feel drained, resentful, invisible. Then one day, they explode. Not because they're suddenly a bad person, but because their shadow has been ignored for too long. Their hero's journey doesn't begin when they stay nice. It begins when they admit, I have anger in me. And instead of fearing it, they learn to use it, to set boundaries, to say no, to stand up for themselves. That's integration. That's growth. Or take another example. Someone who sees themselves as independent and strong. They never ask for help. They avoid vulnerability. They believe needing others is weakness. But deep down, there's loneliness. Their shadow isn't aggression. It's need. It's softness. It's the part of them that wants connection but feels ashamed of it. Their hero's journey begins when they admit, I need people. And instead of rejecting that truth, they allow themselves to be seen. Not perfectly, just honestly. That's the real challenge. Because facing your shadow feels uncomfortable. It challenges the identity you've built, the story you tell yourself about who you are. And that's why most people avoid it. They'd rather keep fighting external battles, chasing success, validation, distractions. Because it's easier than turning inward. But here's the paradox Jung pointed out. The more you avoid your shadow, the more it controls you. And the more you face it, the more freedom you gain. Because you're no longer divided against yourself. You become whole. Jung called this process individuation. Individuation simply means becoming who you truly are, not just the parts you like, but the full picture. Light and dark, strength and weakness, confidence and doubt. It's not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming real. And that's the real meaning of the hero's journey. Not a story about becoming someone else, but a journey of becoming yourself completely. The hero doesn't win by destroying the darkness. The hero wins by understanding it, by accepting it, by integrating it into something stronger, wiser, and more balanced. So the next time you feel that discomfort, that unexpected emotion, that reaction you don't like, instead of pushing it away, try asking a different question. What part of me is trying to be seen right now? Because that moment, that uncomfortable, inconvenient, slightly unsettling moment, might actually be the doorway to your real transformation. And maybe the real question isn't whether you're ready to be the hero of your story, but whether you're ready to meet the part of yourself you've been running from. So let me leave you with this. If your life is a journey, what part of yourself have you been treating as the enemy? And what might change if you finally faced it? If this resonated with you, there's a deeper layer to this idea that most people never explore, and that's what the next video is about.